do you appreciate that maybe different leaders would have different management styles? I'm not only referring to the CEO, I'm looking at across the organization, different executives, where some would prefer maybe like, an email appointment, for instance, or appointment request, for instance, before, meeting them, or having that like a prior conversation, for instance. So I don't know how personal profiles or personal, what am I calling them? The personality profiles, for instance, would impact on leadership styles.
Yes, you're right. I mean, the personas do impact on leadership styles in a large way. And sometimes it helps to understand one's style and what works for them. Very early on, say if you join a new company, you have a new boss, it's good to be very open and understand this is how I like to work, this is how I like to be briefed, and this is how I like to have our conversations. Some would be like, hey, okay, Mimi, I'm not a guy of emails, just call. Because if you read that email, you'll wait for days, and you're frustrated that I'm not responding, but it's not my style. Okay? Some would be like, no, it has to be on email. I don't appreciate phone calls. That is not formal, it's casual. So you have to learn that. Some are like, if you have an issue, just walk to my office. There's no problem. Let's have a chat. Let's get it off, done with. It's good to understand those leadership styles because they actually make or break whether people want to stay in that company or not. People don't just leave because they want to leave. It's because of the impacts of leadership. And in many times, it's around people management, and which makes the environment become a bit unhealthy. But sometimes the solution is very simple. We don't communicate enough, or we don't understand our styles enough, or we are not allowed to challenge upwards enough. So this thing called, which I learned earlier on, called reverse mentoring, that I can actually mentor someone senior to me and get them to understand and appreciate that, hey, you know what, between us, we are like 2 generations apart. I'm more of a geek person. I understand this online space very well. I can help you sort out an issue very, very quickly. Just let me know how you can me to sort you. And I can show you how to do it. If you're a leader who is open to that, that's called reverse mentoring. Yeah. So it's a challenge, for us leaders to apply that reverse mentoring with our teams and be vulnerable. If I don't know, show me.
That's quite hard, I'm telling you. The aspect of just walking up to your boss and saying, okay, well, I feel like I should mentor you. Okay, maybe that's not the words you might use as well, but I think it's in the approach and the way they do it. And that's where the cultural nuances really play. And so we've spoken about the personality. I'm talking about now the culture bit, particularly in the region. I mean, we've not trained our youth to actually speak up against their leaders, for instance. It's always a yes, sir, yes, madam sort of a situation out there. Traveling out of the country, you'd see a bit of, no, sir, I think we should do it like this. Or I strongly suggest, allow me to disagree with you. My feeling is that, we should take this strategy as opposed to that strategy.
Yes.
So with this multinational infusion, can we see like kind of a blend, of the blend with the Western culture, for instance, in terms of management?
There's a blend, and there's also a lot also speaks to the schools we go to, because then these things get nurtured early. The fact that you can speak up. When you're growing up, going to primary school or whichever school, did you have a chance to even raise up your hand and ask a question or even challenge the teacher? So these things actually start very, very early on from childhood, and they are nurtured. Some have not had that opportunity of it being nurtured. Even in the family, you're able to challenge mom and say, hey, mom, I think we can do it this way. No. So that kind of space, safe space to challenge. If you go to, of course, like you mentioned, the development world, it's very liberal. Kids are exposed early, even in the workplace. So they get to to interact with people differently. They get to understand. They know their rights. They need to know what to do, when, where, and how, and that really helps. And even our kids who've gone abroad and come back, you see a bit of a difference in terms of the blend of cultures they have picked and how they apply it now locally. So I think for us, even in the workspaces or places, we need to just be aware that there's always a blend of different cultures. And that's why as a leader, it's your role to give people that safe space. Appreciate that not everybody would come from a similar cultural background.
Yeah.
And not everybody's like you. Not everybody's a Harvard graduate like Laban. So give everybody an opportunity. You know, if I come from authoritative or in Home Bay,
Yes.
I may not have had a chance like Laban.
Yeah.
So give me the same opportunity if we are interning together or if we are in the same graduate program. So that, you know, my idea also counts, and I also feel a bit of self-confidence that I don't shy and, you know, let things go unattended.